E2 visa applicant. What's important to say is that, our franchisees are not people that are necessarily familiar with all the intricacies of insurance or the insurance market, but be assured that we provide the guidance that's needed every step of the way. Not only our own training, how to get licensed, how to understand insurance, we try to make it very easy for people to understand the market. So somebody that comes in from outside of the United States benefits from that detailed approach and the guidance that's provided.
Patrick Findaro here, co-founder at Visa Franchise. Excited to have on Alex Trachtman, who's the Senior Vice President of Franchise Operations at Freeway Insurance. Freeway is owned by Confie, and we've had one of their sister companies on in the past, Freeway Insurance. Numerous clients have invested in that concept. And Freeway is in a lot of different states, 20 plus states, and hundreds of locations. So we're excited to be working with Alex and his team at Freeway Insurance. And Alex, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So you've been at Confie, or now at Freeway Insurance for 18 years. What initially attracted you to this opportunity?
Well, I think Confie has always been a company that treats its employees like family, with everyone always working together to achieve a common goal. So I actually came from a company that was very cutthroat, with everyone always gunning for your job. And I didn't want to replicate that environment. So I wanted a company that had a culture of collaboration, which I found in Confie. I also like the fact that Confie has always had this strategy of growth, both organically and through acquisitions. So not only has it had this growth strategy, but it also has the necessary funding. So as part of that growth, I kind of saw an opportunity for me to grow not only professionally, but also personally.
Okay, yeah, and it seems like there's been quite a few acquisitions in the insurance space, some of those being franchise brands. Most recently, I think, is Freeway Insurance. Are there any other notable ones that they brought into the system?
Well, the three brands that we have that do franchise are Estrella, Freeway, and Velox, based out of Georgia. So those are the three brands that franchise, but we've acquired companies like Acceptance Insurance that had about 200 locations. So we've had some significant acquisitions recently, but those are the three that I mentioned that are franchising.
Could you tell us a little bit more about, the growth strategy and what makes it differentiated in the insurance space?
Sure. I guess when I started with Confie, we had 19 sales offices, all in California. We now have over 1,250 sales offices in 27 states, and we sell insurance in all 50 states. So as I mentioned before, we've grown very significantly through acquisitions as well as organically. We are now, or Confie is now, the largest personal lines leader, according to the Insurance Journal. And together with our parent company, Alliant Insurance, we are now ranked the fifth largest broker in the US and the eighth largest in the world. So it's been a very significant, going from 19 offices to 1,250 plus locations. And again, it's just been an incredible growth for us that continues to this day.
And for those that aren't familiar with the insurance space, like, where does Freeway play in it? And, for someone that's looking into going into business ownership, why insurance? Why is this a nice niche?
So one thing that is great about insurance is that, once you sell a policy, and obviously Freeway is a broker, so it collects a commission from the insurance company that it sells, whether it's Progressive or any other insurance company will collect a commission at the time of sale. As long as that customer stays on the books and continues to be a customer of Freeway, we continue generating commissions from that customer. So it's kind of one of these things that it takes a little bit of time. Initially, you're getting paid only on the ones you sell. The second year, you're getting paid on not only your sales for the second year, but you're also getting paid on the customers from the first year that renewed their policies. So it just kind of builds on itself. In fact, what's interesting is many years ago, we did a quick study by closing one of our locations. And this was 15 years ago. We closed one of our locations and we just tracked how commissions behaved once it had absolutely no more sales since the office was closed. And it took about 8 years for those commissions to get down to about 2% of the commissions that were there at the time the office actually closed. So it just continues to generate those commissions, even if you don't have any additional sales. Obviously, we want our franchisees to continue to grow. We want them to continue to have sales, but it does build on itself pretty quickly.
And what type of insurance is Freeway most focused on selling?
So Freeway is more focused on the non-standard market, and to kind of explain a little bit about that, within the insurance industry, there's carriers or insurance companies that focus on non-standard customers. Sometimes they're referred to as subprime customers, and those would be customers that have a issue with their driving record. They have a DUI, students who don't have the experience driving or the years of experience in their belt, people that can't afford to pay their policy upfront, so they pay basically on a monthly basis. Those are the types of customers that are what's referred to as non-standard that Freeway focuses on, and most of the carriers that Freeway does sell are focused on that non-standard market. Now, there are carriers such as AAA, State Farm, that focus more on what's referred to as the preferred customer. And those would be more of your executives, more of the people that are paying their policy up front, that don't have issues with their driving record. And we do have a brand that focuses on that. However, Freeway is mostly focused on the non-standard market, although it does have some carriers that are preferred in case there are customers that come in that are more preferred customers. But I would say at least 85 to 90% of our customers are non-standard on the Freeway side.
And what type of franchisees are you looking for, essentially partners to grow the Freeway brand and hopefully not just open up one agency, but open up multiple ones?
There's several key factors that we look at when we evaluate a potential franchisee. So we look for integrity. We look for the ability to manage personal finances if they've never had a business before. We want to make sure they can manage their personal finances. People that have the capital necessary to start the franchise, including a minimum of 90 days working capital. Somebody that demonstrates the ability to adapt to change, because one thing about Confie, it changes every year. It's always adapting to something new that's happening in the market. So we want people that can demonstrate that ability to adapt to change. We want people that can align with our core values and our culture. And ultimately, we want people that have kind of emotional and social intelligence. I mean, that's kind of what we look for. We don't necessarily look, by the way, for people that have insurance experience. It's great if they do. It's not necessary. We'll teach the insurance piece of it.
How much are we talking about to open up one?
The initial franchise fee is currently $25,000 to start a franchise, and to open a location, you'll probably be looking somewhere in the 30 to 50,000 range to just get everything up and running. The construction of the office, everything else.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, that's basically what it takes to really start the franchise. You pay the initial franchise fee, and then you've got to do the construction, if any. And that really depends on the size. It doesn't have to be a big office. It could be as small as 500 square feet. And some of our franchisees have locations that are close to 2,000 square feet. It just depends on how many employees that franchisee wants to have. They might want to start with just themselves selling insurance and then grow from there. So they might start with a smaller location, and then some already come in with employees in mind and they want a larger location.
How important is it for the office to be welcoming to clients? And I guess, is it the majority of people are coming in and buying in that agency, or can a franchisee expect a lot of customers to just come online and the broker to close over the phone? How does it work?
So one thing that we do at Freeway is we want to be able to sell insurance however the customer wants to buy it. So they want to come in. Well, obviously, we have people there that can sell the insurance policy. If they want to do it over the phone, we can do that. If they want to do it online, we can do that. So it's really however the customer wants to buy insurance, we're able to do it. There is a significant amount of walk-in traffic into our stores just from our name recognition out there in the market and all the marketing we do. So people do drive by, recognize the name, and do walk into one of our offices.
And I imagine, that first year, even going into the second year, is crucial because, once you build the book, it's going to take some time to really have the book go down if you're not selling as much. But right. How do you help franchisees in that first year to really get a jump start on the business?
So we've got dedicated, what we call field support consultants that will assist our franchisees with their daily operational challenges, coaching, We have dedicated franchise trainers that provide training not only in the initial phase, but also continuous training one on one with our franchisees. We do business reviews to identify any kind of key behaviors for success. And we also highlight areas for improvement. We have a ticketing system that provides kind of a direct access to the corporate office or the home office in multiple departments, whether it's IT or treasury, compliance, licensing, marketing, whatever area the franchisee is having an issue, they can submit a ticket to the home office and somebody from that department will contact them and resolve the issue. And ultimately, we're providing leads. We're assisting them in kind of growing their customer base. So, we generate our own leads, we do our own marketing, and we do send leads to our franchisees.
And in terms of the leads, is it included as like part of the royalty or marketing fee, or is there kind of some sort of revenue split when you provide leads to the franchisees?
So we don't ever say that we're not going to guarantee a certain number of leads.
Sure.
A lot of that will depend on what the cost of the leads are in the market at that time. To the extent we have excess number of leads, we do send them to our franchisees. But ultimately, we always have our franchisees be included in our website. So if you look up what's the closest Freeway Insurance, the franchisee locations will also come up with their phone number. And we find that about 30 to 40% on average of the customers find our locations through our website. So they'll find out which is the closest location and then they'll go there. So in a way, that's one way that we're providing leads is by putting them on our website and letting the customers find the franchisee locations. And then to the extent, last year and into the beginning of this year, we had an excess number of leads. So we were providing no cost leads to our franchisees. We also, give them the ability to purchase leads from us. So we do have a system that they'll have access to. And those leads will be more of a warm transfer, meaning that, when the customer calls in, it goes into a call center environment that we have. And then what they do is they'll capture all the information related to that lead, whether it's vehicle information, the driver information. So they'll capture everything in the system and then they'll transfer the call and the screen to a licensed agent. So for many of these corporate offices and corporate or franchise locations, so we'll transfer those leads. So franchisee could very well say, I want to get 10 leads. I want to buy 10 leads and we'll send those leads. Now those will be warm transfers. So they'll actually have the customer on the phone already and they'll transfer that to the franchisees. And
like someone that's live on the phone, like what's their chance of closing? I would imagine it's pretty high.
It's pretty high. Yes, it's very high because they've already provided all the information. So really it's up to the franchisee to just issue a quote, hopefully find something that works for the customer, and then ultimately just close the sale.
If someone was like an independent agent or some of the older, insurance franchises that haven't adopted to, technology changes and whatnot and marketing processes, I'd imagine they're probably spinning their wheels just trying to network to get contacts or spending a lot of money on marketing campaigns that they don't know there's a return.
Yeah, we do see that, although we do, we get involved and we provide guidance to them on local marketing efforts, how to manage website presence, app usage, lead generation. So we're always there to provide that assistance. We tell them what's worked for us. I mean, one of the benefits of Freeway is that we did not start franchising from day one. We've been doing this thing for ourselves for many, many years. I think
How many agencies? Like 300 plus agencies before you franchised?
Locations, you mean like offices?
Locations?
No, we already had over 1,000 locations before we started franchising.
Yeah, it's incredible.
The thing is, we've set up everything, including, we've got an established business model. All the systems, the processes, the procedures, all of that is already established. It's been tested, modified. It's something that works for us, and we're providing that to our franchisees. So again, one of the benefits of Freeway is that we're not just franchising. We do this for ourselves. We've got our corporate offices. We also have our own university. We call Confie University that provides both the initial and ongoing training on things like customer service, marketing, operations, even how to handle diverse client profiles. As I said before, the marketing is also there. We're providing guidance to them. We do our own, print, radio. We produce our own commercials for television. So we spend a significant amount of money on marketing, which is why a lot of people do recognize the Freeway name, and that's why the walk-in traffic is pretty significant for us. We do a lot of strong brand recognition. As an example, we sponsored Daniel Suarez, who's the first Mexican-born driver to win a NASCAR Cup Series race. And we continue to sponsor. So if you watch NASCAR, you'll see the car, the 99 car. It's all Freeway branded.
Very cool.
We provide our franchisees access to about 150 plus national and regional insurance carriers. We provide them with a broad selection of both insurance and ancillary products, whether it's something like telemedicine or roadside assistance, pet insurance. And ultimately, we do have a back office support that we provide, customer service, our quality control, reviewing their policies, making sure that everything is done correctly. So when it's submitted to the insurance company, there's no issues. Licensing, making sure that they're properly licensed so they don't run into any problems. So all of that is also provided as part of the franchise opportunity.
So, I mean, you're on such an amazing path with over 1,000 locations. Why franchise? Because it seemed like you could have just kept growing organically and inorganically through acquisitions and just continue to grow. Why open this up to franchisees?
The main reason is because, on average, we were opening about 30 to 35 new locations every year. And that's about the most we can do with the existing resources, because it does require our facilities team to get involved, obviously our real estate team to get involved. So we're very limited in, at some point we kind of cap our current resources, and that seemed to be about 30 to 35 locations per year. That's not where we want to be. We want to double in size. I mean, we want to continue growing significantly. And we saw franchising really as an opportunity to accelerate that growth exponentially. It also it brings in, I think, areas of the country where we don't have stores, where we can get somebody out there that might be interested in opening a Freeway location and a second one and a third one. And it does help grow kind of exponentially. It was really the growth aspect of it that we didn't want to be limited to 30 or 35 new stores every year. We wanted that to be 60, 70, 100 stores every year. And franchising made sense for us.
And for a franchisee that, say is just starting out, maybe just has one employee, like when is the right time to continue to hire salespeople? When is the right time to think about opening up that second location?
It really depends on the franchisee. We've had some that have already opened their second location. And really what they got to the point where the number of people that were coming into the store, it was a lot more than what their team were able to handle. So they were getting leads, but then there were, somebody who comes in, they want to buy insurance, and there's only one person there and he's busy with another customer. So that's when people start seeing that, I guess, there's a need to add more employees.
Sure.
So that usually becomes kind of the first step, is you start adding more employees. And then once you get comfortable with those employees and you think, well, now I can have one of those employees go be the manager of a second location. So you kind of build it. You want to get that confidence in your own employees. It's those employees that will be running your second location, since the owner is not going to be able to be in multiple locations at the same time. So you need to get people that you're comfortable with, that you trust. And typically that's the way most of our franchisees have done it, is they kind of grow within the first location. And then once they get that comfort in their own employees and they trust them, that's when they start looking for a second location.
And then I imagine Confie comes in hand for training that sales person or even the manager.
Yes.
Is there anything that you guys help with in terms of the recruiting?
In terms of recruiting, no, we do not. So there's a lot of, we try to avoid any potential dual employment issues and things like that. So what we do is we do provide in our operating manual kind of some guidance in how we do it for our corporate offices, what area, what are some of the places we look for candidates. how to get those candidates licensed to sell insurance,
Okay.
because unfortunately for insurance, you do have to be licensed in whatever state you're selling. So we do provide that guidance. We even provide guidance on how we pay. What is a typical compensation? What do we recommend in terms of compensation strategy? To entice your own employees. But ultimately, it's the franchisee's
It's their
decision.
decision. They're
As
the
far
one
as how they
leading the
want to pay
process, but
them.
you provide all the insights and experience share at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Let's work for you guys.
Yeah. Again, we kind of stay away from the hiring, but we do tell them how we do it and how we everything, compensation to licensing to pretty much everything.
Alex, anything that we didn't talk about today that you think would be relevant for our audience?
I think just kind of specific to the an E2 visa applicant, I think what's kind of important to say is that, our franchisees are not people that are necessarily familiar with all the intricacies of insurance or the insurance market, but be assured that we provide the guidance that's needed every step of the way. So we don't expect people to know insurance. We all take them through not only our own training, how to get licensed, how to understand insurance. We try to make it very easy for people to understand the market. So somebody that comes in from outside of the United States, kind of benefits from that detailed
Sure.
approach and the guidance that's provided. So ultimately, our goal is to ensure that our franchisees are successful. It's something we truly believe in. If our franchisees are successful, then we're successful, and we're going to continue to grow as a company and as a family, as I said before.
I'm sure the licenses and all that's quite annoying in the beginning and even when you're hiring employees. But at the end of the day, that's like a competitive moat that, we have a lot of people come to us at Visa Franchise and they want something easy, like a gas station or convenience store.
Right.
And those things don't make much money or you have to invest a lot of capital. So something that's a little more complex that, you're going to have to cultivate a sales team and have different lead generation processes and handle warm leads. Like there's a lot of intricacies to your business model, but that's what makes it successful and able to
Absolutely.
have more stability and recurring revenue compared to a business that might just be a one-off sale and you're never going to work with that customer again.
Absolutely.
Well, Alex, thanks so much for joining us today. And if anyone's interested in learning more about the opportunity, just feel free, shoot me an email at patrick@visafranchise.com. Alex, thanks again for taking the time to chat.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.